everyone, it's Brittany with Tennessee National Wildlife Refuge. I'm bringing you another fun daily activity today, and we're going to be doing nature journaling. And nature journaling is a lot of fun because you get to do a lot of observations. So we're going to be focusing on macroorganisms, which are things that you can see with your eyes. You don't have to have a microscope to see them. And so we're going to be looking at an ecosystem that is under things, so like under stepping stones or under logs or rocks or under a water trough. Basically anything that has a bunch of bare ground, so not a bunch of grass underneath that can be dead and gone, so just bare ground, and you'll get to see a lot of cool things under here. Today is a bit cooler, so we won't see as much as I was hoping, but we're going to go ahead and dive on in and see what we can find underneath this water trough. Here we go. Alrighty everyone, so I moved my water trough, and the only macroorganism I have found so far is an earthworm. Now earthworms are pretty cool because they're great for the soil. What they do is they dig tunnels through the earth, and as they're digging those tunnels they're eating that dirt, and this allows for air to be put back into the soil, and that's going to help your plants grow really well. Earthworms, they also don't see and they don't hear, but they still move around. They breathe through their body, which is pretty cool, and they break down a lot of dead plant material like your leaves, which also helps bring nutrients back into the soil. So these guys are great for our environment. So now let's get to the nature journaling part of this activity. Alright, so now we're going to do the writing part in our journal. And you're going to need a notebook of some kind. It can be lined or blank, and then you're going to need writing utensils. That could just be something like a pen or pencil, or you can get really crafty with it and do some artsy skills and use paint, colored pencils, markers, whatever you come up with. But this is your journal, so you do it how you want it to be done and make it as creative and colorful as you wish. So the first step is you want to record some of the information. So you want to record the date. So today is May 6th of 2020, and we did this at 11 o'clock a.m. and then see, my temperature outside was 49 degrees Fahrenheit, and then it was cloudy with some sunshine. And then let me go ahead and draw where my water trough was. So that's the bare ground underneath that water trough. And I want to remind myself that this ecosystem it had a lot of dead, laid over grass. Oh, and I also want to note that this was under a water trough. Okay, and then I want to draw where I found the worm. And then this worm had this ring-like collar around it, and then had a bunch of little bitty lines. And then this worm was a dark brown color. And let's talk about its movement. So it kind of inched its way around. Getting skinny. And then fat. And then also, let's talk about around my ecosystem. So outside, There was a lot of live grass. And then also I want to note in here that the ground was damp and cool. And you can get even more creative with this. If you're really into drawing, you can draw a lot of that dead laying over grass. You can draw the dark colored soil. You can color in your worm to show what kind of color it was. But this is just some of the basics you want to have in a nature journal. But get creative with it and make it your own. And you may also want to note that this was macroorganisms. So I hope you enjoyed today's activity, and I will see you next time.